Hi there, warm welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Yakub, first viewer who commented, welcome Yakub. Yakub is relatively new to live chats, but he has been attending all live chats recently. Am I right, Yakub? Israel Yemane here. Real Hidden Light joins, says thanks in advance for the update, brother. Thank you, Real Hidden Light. Eyoub join. Welcome, Eyoub. Rufail here. FBG ne. Med Abdu Ali. TE. We have Hussein Kadir. Mizha. Ato Africa TV. Likisa the Bisa here. Sadiq Kadir joined. Dhanan Media here. Elijah Kano. Gebremi joined. Gebremi says your news about Salamti conflict last time was incorrect and honestly questioned your credibility. Come on. Who are you trying to mislead? My information about Salamti was incorrect. What are you talking about? Are you trying to mislead viewers or yourself? Maybe you are misled yourself. I was the one who broke the news about Tigray military's entry in Salamti. But Tigray military, TPLF, they covered up this military entry in Salamti by claiming that fighting in Salamti was started by federal government, which is not true. Do you believe what Tigray government TPLF are saying? Did you watch all the videos I made about Salamti? You're still letting yourself be fooled by Tigray People Liberation Front and Tigray government who tried to attack Salamti, but then they put the blame on the shoulders of the Ethiopian federal government. Abiy Moise here. Admaso joined. Jamal Hussain here. Pajit Microwave. Shashe joined. Yeah, Yakub. That is why I read the names of all the participants because that helps me remember you. That keeps me connected with you. Wisdom Seeker joined. McConnell here. One now. Ere love. Peace to all. Kasanethion here. Kadir joined. Kis Murda here. Daniel Gitacho. Mulugeneo. Ifenai here. Engisom Photo joined after a long time. Where have you been? Engisom Photo. Peace to all. Abdi Kareem, a member joined again after a long time. How are you, Abdi Kareem? 3SIS here. Sire Volt. Vedi Tigray. I tried to read the names of all the participants. I think I did. Thank you for joining the live chat. Robert Halle here. Welcome, Robert. Well, tonight I want to speak about Ethiopian Prime Minister's plan about Tigray. I contacted some people. I talked to them. I cannot disclose their identities. Talked to several people, and after that, I reached a conclusion about this 2 point plan by the Ethiopian Prime Minister regarding Tigray. Sam Watson joined after a long time. Wisdom seeker. Problem is that if you want to remain blinded by official positions of parties to conflict, that is your decision. Whenever wars happen, warring parties never speak the truth. They always tell lies. And some of you digest their lies. That is why they tell more lies. But with an open, neutral mind, try to understand, develop it. Only then will you be able to understand what is happening behind the scenes. Mihari Tisfalit, welcome Mihari. Thank you for joining. Guracha here. He will miss Iyaso, who hasn't joined so far. Baka Ji joined. Welcome, Baka Ji. Engisong Photo is in Canada. Uh, he says Canada time issue. Guracha, yesterday we had slow internet connection. That is why I got disconnected. Hopefully, I think I'll be able to conclude tonight's live chat. A name in Hebrew language says hi. Yaqub says, why is everyone criticizing Sajid on both sides? I think that is the indication of that no one is happy with me. By the way, no one is really happy with me. Neither Ethiopian government nor TPL, neither Eritrean government nor Eritrean opposition, neither Ola nor Oromia government. No one is happy with me. Why? Because I feel that I am accountable to my viewers. I believe that my responsibility is to tell the truth as far as I know and update my viewers. I am not at the payroll of TPLF, Ola, Fano, Abiy, Isaias, or opposition. I am at the payroll of my viewers. You people watch me. I'm responsible in front of you. I am accountable to you. That is what my crime is. Well, Famal studio is the same. I was traveling actually. I am back home now. People say, Saji, you should improve the quality of the camera. You should improve the background. You should improve the lighting. But I travel a lot. It's difficult to carry all these things with me. I think people listen to me. They don't watch me. They listen to what I said. Content matters. Well, we were missing. Yeah, so he joined. Let's start, viewers. I think we're being diverted. Ethiopia Highland is asking about 2-point plan by Ethiopia. What is Ethiopian PM's plan, ultimate plan about Tigray? Is he preparing to wage war on Tigray? Is he bent on invading Tigray, attacking Tigray? What is END of military mobilization about? Let me speak for around 10 minutes and I'll explain the 2 points of Ethiopian PM's plan. Uh, uh, DSC says you travel quite frequently, Sajid. Yeah, sometimes thrice a year. After every 3 to 4 months, I go out for a month. Because to be honest, if I don't travel, I think I'll fall ill. I mean, this work is very demanding. 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day, no break whatsoever. It's very uh, difficult. When I travel, I feel relieved. I do the same work, same amount of videos, traveling abroad, but at least I get some mental relief, I think. So I have to travel. That's what I need. Let's start, viewers. We can talk about my uh, activities in some other live chat. Someone is asking about Imran Khan's eyesight, as if I am covering what is happening in Pakistan. Again, trying to divert. So, what is Ethiopian PM's 2 point plan about Tigray? Well, it's a very interesting plan, by the way. Abiy, it seems, is following Trump. Donald Trump, American president. Donald Trump is changing, by the way, the world, how international affairs are being handled, how diplomacy is being conducted, how wars are being fought, how wars are ending. Trump is changing a lot of things, I think. His diplomacy is being termed as intimidation. Point number one of the Ethiopian PM's plan about Tigray is a Trump's copy of plan about Iran. That's not analysis, by the way. That's what I have learned through engagements with people who are close to decision making in Addis Ababa. What is Trump doing? What is Trump's plan about Iran? Well, a few weeks ago, it seemed as if US was going to invade Iran. All preparations were there. Military mobilization was happening. US military was being pulled out of key locations in the Middle East. New US military assets were on their way towards the Middle East, towards Persian Gulf. All were saying that attack on Iran was a matter of days. Then suddenly, American president postponed. He called American leaders called Iranian leaders, saying that the US had no plan to invade Iran. Again, US started military mobilization. US ordered the deployment of aircraft carriers. And now it seems that Trump wants to intimidate Iran as much as he can through military mobilization, to the mobilization of US military assets. Trump wants to tell Iran that US is going to attack Iran, that Iran will have to come to the table. Iran will have to agree to the conditions at the table. Iran will have to sign the deal which the US and Israel want Iran to sign the deal. This I was disconnected. I'm back. So, massive mobilization of US military assets towards Iran is a tactic of putting so much pressure on Iran that Iran crumbles and Iran agrees to the deal which US and Israel want Iran to sign. And the most important part of this deal is that Iran, that US and Israel want the rollback of Iranian nuclear program. They want to ensure that Iran won't be able to build the bomb, atomic bomb. That Iranian missile capabilities will also be downgraded. That is what Trump's plan is. It's intimidation, basically, coercion, basically. Same is the policy being adopted by the Ethiopian Prime Minister. He is Trump, TPLF is Iran. Federal forces are being mobilized towards Tigray. No doubt about that. I mean, pictures, videos confirming that. Messaging behind the military mobilization by the federal government for TPLF is that TPLF must come to the table, agree to federal government's conditions, or be ready. Thank you, Saleh, for buying the super chat sticker. Saleh, I am briefing the viewers about 2-point plan which Ethiopian PM is adopting about Tigray. I'm explaining first point of the plan. I'm saying that the first point of Ethiopian Prime Minister's plan about Tigray is similar to a plan by Donald Trump, American president, about Iran. Trump is mobilizing American military resources, military assets to put pressure on Iran so that Iran crumbles under pressure and seeing the imminent war agrees to concessions at the table about its nuclear program. Abiy is doing the same, mobilizing ENDF through Afar, through Amhara, and sending a message to TPLF that war is coming. And by the way, TPLF is confirming that federal government is making preparation for war. You saw what Debretsian said yesterday. You saw what Debretsian wrote in the letter to African Union Commission chairman. TPLF is saying that federal government is preparing for war, major war, massive mobilization ongoing. But this mobilization of ENDF is like the mobilization of American military assets towards Iran. So will TPLF crumble under pressure and agree to make concessions at the table, agree to disassociate itself with Eritrea? That remains to be seen. Point number one of Abiy's plan, I explained. Point number two, little later. Maybe that is why ENDF is only mobilizing itself. I mean, ENDF could have launched an attack on Tigray in recent days. It could have launched an attack from Afar, from Wollo, from uh, Maravulkai, Sagade, but just mobilization underway. Mobilization is a pressure tactic, I think. Israel Jimenez said, do you think that the negotiation between Abiy and TPLF will work? Well, before the negotiations, Abiy is trying to break the morale of TPLF so that when negotiations start, TPLF will be left with limited options and it will just uh, implement the instructions of federal government. By the way, these Gitacho group leaders, they are implementing federal government's agenda. You saw what Kari Ibrahim said? Did you see what that lady said? Who was kicked out of TPLF. Kari Ibrahim is saying war should not happen, but federal government should impose state of emergency in Tigray. People of Tigray should be freed. Gitacho group to wants the federal government to remove TPLF from power. And that is why this group wants federal government to put as much pressure on TPLF as possible. So the TPLF crumbles under pressure. Mitiko says, good for nothing, Karya. Well, I'm not talking about her significance, but that just shows what PP's plan is. These people are being launched by Prosperity Party. FBN says, what about the guarantors as far as both TPLF and PP violate Pretoria? Well, I think that the guarantors or mediators of Pretoria, perhaps they're closer to the federal government than they are to Tigray. Tigray's formation of alliance with Eritrea is not being accepted by Americans, by Europeans. Maybe uh, that was a controversial move by TPLF. That is why these days very limited the Simdo activities. TPLF realized that it should not hold public the Simdo activities. Did you see any of the Simdo activity recently in Tigray? I think one happened in Sudan, but none in Tigray or in Eritrea in recent days. So that move by TPLF actually helped Ethiopian federal government in getting mediator support about its narrative. Unable to pass my comment test. What is Elijah? What is Elijah saying? Point number two, viewers. I explained Abiy's point number one of his plan about Tigray. Point number two is very interesting, by the way. If point number one does not succeed, if Abiy's campaign of maximum pressure on TPLF does not work, and TPLF in alliance with FAN or RRT others, or on its own uh, starts war, or if federal government has to wage war, then point number two will be implemented. In Ethiopian federal government's military plan about Tigray, in case of failure of point number one, Eastern Front will be a decisive front. The military and politicians, they are trying to ensure that Ethiopian military and its allies should launch a swift operation, speedy security operation to capture eastern, southern, and central parts of Tigray. If TPLF, if Tigray military attacks Volkite, or if it re-enters Salemti, or if it attacks Humera from Sudan through Army 70, you will see a swift operation by the Ethiopian National Defense Force from two sides, from the Afar region and from Wollo. And this operation will be the game changer. That is why the government will ensure that Addis Ababa, Debre Birhan, Dassi, Wuldia, Kobo route remains open. The military deployment by ENDF, which is being done to protect this route. This route and the route through the Afar region will be the key supply lines of the Ethiopian National Defense Force. They will push from Wollo, from Afar, to swiftly take control of large parts of Tigray, including Mekelle, to just dismantle government in Mekelle and to force Tigray leaders, Tigray generals, to flee from the center of Tigray, administrative center of Tigray, that is Mekelle. Point number two. Will this speedy operation work or not? Will it lead to full-scale war? We don't know. These are two main points of federal government's plan about Tigray. Mubarak PP says, you're indirectly saying close this road. Come on, Mubarak. I am not an advisor to anyone. Could I not tell you? No. I try to ensure that my viewers know what is cooking in the background. And you're discouraging me from sharing that with you. I share information from both sides with my viewers. I think that Ethiopian federal government's recent attack in southern Tigray to counter Tigray military's entry in Salemti gave hope to ENDF that ENDF can swiftly control large parts of southern Tigray, eastern Tigray, including Mekelle. That is why a lot is happening these days in Afar and along Alamata to Dasi, Debre Birhan Road. By the way, when important question, Tiglunmi says, but both points of the plan must reckon with the upcoming election. You outlined the stick. Now, where is the carrot? Well, we are not analyzing these two developments related to the election. Ideally, Abiy would like election to be held amid uncertainty. That is what he did last time in 2021. There was uncertainty. He used military. Opposition was not allowed to come out openly, and he just ran unopposed, almost unopposed. Same will happen now. I mean, you will see uncertainty in Ethiopia in the next few months. The uncertainty will continue until the election is held. You won't see any stability in Ethiopia before election. Abiy knows that his best chance of winning the election is that he should hold election, which should be controlled election. There should be no transparency. There should be no uh, real transparency to hold the election. There should be uncertainty so that he can use forces. He can, so that he could suspend elections where he is not in a strong position. That is why tensions will continue, instability will continue until the election. So Abiy won't make peace with TPLF, with Eritrea, with Fano, with Ola before election, I think. What about the other side? What will they do? Will they wait for Abiy to be re-elected and be stronger? Will they fire the first shot before the election? Bakaji says, why don't the AU, other actors respond to recent TPLF letters? Well, if they respond, they won't respond publicly, I think. They will talk to both parties and you will see the response perhaps translate into action. So we'll have to wait. Let's wait. I mean, if AU issues a statement in response to TPLF letters, that won't be of any significance. But if AU leaders contact Abiy, contact TPLF leaders, and they form committees and negotiations start, it means that letter is receiving the response. So let's wait. Profile, I'll update you about Saudi Eritrean meetings in coming videos tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you, Yohe Sefa. Your name says your groundless lay is not even logical. What is logical? Would you explain what is logical? Mubarak PP is smoking something, saying, is Islamabad safe? These people take revenge on me by asking questions about Pakistan. They don't know what is happening in Pakistan. Why don't you take revenge by making a channel about Pakistan? Let's see how many people watch you. With 36 minutes have passed, I think I should leave. I would like you to express your views about the two-point plan by Ethiopian PM's government. Will this plan work or not? Are there any drawbacks in this plan? And what could be TPLF's counter plan? Perhaps that will explain in coming videos or live chats if we get verified information from the other side. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye bye.